Hey there, welcome to another Crafty Hallett video. I'm going to be showing you these little boxes that are also a card. So this is the card bit, and if you just wait, it's got a little bit stuck with the glue. There we go. It pulls out, there's a little drawer, and in the drawer there's a little stone love heart that I've made, and it just slots back in, hopefully, with a bit of help. There we go, like a matchbox, and then seals across and closed. So what are you going to, there's another one I've made here. What are you going to need? You are, first off, you're going to need your trimmer. So you're also going to need a strip of card, and this strip measures 28.5 centimeters by 9.2 centimeters, and I'm using Blackberry Bliss. If we line it up on the scorer, you're going to score at, don't worry about these measurements too much because I'm going to put them all on my blog. But you're going to score at 2.6 centimeters. I've done this measurements in centimeters because it's easier to wiggle them. 9 centimeters, 11.6 centimeters, 18 centimeters, and then all the way over to 20.6 centimeters. And then the final score is at 27 centimeters. And then you can put that to one side. And the next bit you need is a piece of Blackberry Bliss cardstock that measures 11.5 centimeters by 19 centimeters, and this will form the matchbox piece. And you score this at 2.5 centimeters on all four sides. Hang on, just line that up. And then on the longer sides, you're going to score again at 5 centimeters on both sides of the longer side. Score down, rotate and line up at 5 and score again. You can put your trimmer away now, you're not going to need it again. So you then take your bone folder and score down all your lines just to make sure you've got a nice crisp finish. And your box will close easily on itself. And just keep scoring. And then the final score line. There we go. Open it back up again, and then you're going to take your scissors. Don't do what I did, which was take my enormous scissors and then struggle with them. Do try and use the little scissors. You're going to snip up to the second score line on the bit where you've scored at 2.5 and 5. So you snip up all the way to the 5 centimeter score line on both ends. And snip up. And of course, if you use smaller scissors, this would be a lot easier. But I didn't. I used my big scissors, and it wasn't easy at all. There we go. So we'll soon swap and find the little scissors. There you go. Now you can just snip off the first bit of the 2.5 centimeters to form a tab, and then take a little notch out on each side. I find this just makes it easier to get your box to fit. So again, cut the tab out here, cut a little notch. You can just see that I'm just cutting just a tiny slither away. It just means the box folds easier and you don't get any extra bits in the way. So cutting that tab off, trimming up here. I'm just going to do the same on the other side. Cut the first bit of the tab off and then trim up the little sticky bit there. There we go, snip that in there, job done. And you can move those bits to one side, and this will be your box. Now you can either use sticky strip or glue or fuse or whatever your favourite glue for putting this box together, but I suggest you form the box first. I'm going to use glue. I'm using Tombow glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit on this top tab here when it comes out. Here we go. Oh, it will come out. There we go. A little bit on the top one, a little bit here. Then on each of the tabs on the inside, fold them up and put them across, and tab across. And then you form your box, bring the tabs together, poke this bit over. It's always a bit of an origami job, this one. And hold it together. Do the same at the top end just to form your box. This one's being a bit tricky, just bear with. There we go. Oh, no, maybe not. Let's try again. Squish it in. You don't want the box to go non-square, so just fiddle with it until it looks like a square. Or a rectangle even, but the corners are square. Just feed that piece in. Now I am going to use my bone folder just to burnish that down, just to make sure the glue's all spread out nicely and I've got a nice firm box. It's poked out into the corners. Here we go, here's my box. I'm going to use some pegs just to hold it whilst it's drying, whilst I'm doing the next bit. I'm going to take the strip I scored earlier and just run the bone folder down each of the score lines. Just keep folding them in on themselves so that you've got them, oh, glue everywhere. Just keep folding in on themselves. Find the lines and fold across. Burnish down with your bone folder. Here we go. Nearly there. Last little one here. Okay, so now you can see the piece on the left hand side is the thinner strip. Going to use your corner rounder to round off the corners on those two bits, because that's the flap that goes over the top. And you'll know which one it is because it's the one that's the thinner of the two. Now these pieces of white panels I've got are 8.5 centimetres by 5.5 centimetres. You're going to need 3 of them. I've rounded the corners on it. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue to stick it down on the inside, and this is the bit of the card that you can write on once you give it to someone. Oh, hello. Sit, stay. Squish it down. That's the joy of glue, hey? Would have been able to do that with double-sided tape. Then you're going to take your double-sided tape and put a strip next to it on the, you've got a 2.6 centimetre gap panel, and you're going to cover that with sticky strip. And this will come in handy later. You'll see in a minute when we fold the box across. We'll just leave it on the side there. Again, you could use glue, but I find it's easier to use a double-sided tape or fuse or whatever you've got handy. Put that to one side and I'll show you how we do the inside of the box. Now these are again 2 of those little white panels which I've stamped using the following 2 stamp sets. It's Timeless Textures and Pictogram Punches. I love the Timeless Textures. It's almost like my favourite gorgeous grunge. You've got little coffee rounds and floors, and I've done that in the colours to match the cardstock and also smoky slate. Again, going to round off the corners just because I'm doing corner rounding this time. You don't have to, but I just think they look cuter. And you can put that to one side. We're now going to look at the panel that goes inside the box. And this is 7.9 centimetres by 10.9 centimetres, and I've scored it at 1 centimetre on all 4 sides, which I'm now just going to snip up the tabs. Now I've already stamped this, but you can see I've used the stamp sets that go with it. Just snipping up little tabs here. You don't need to glue this. We're just going to tuck this inside the box, but if you just use your bone folder just to give it a bit of a burnish down each of the corners in. This is just like a little panel that raises up the box inside a bit because it's quite deep. And I just wanted to look like a presentation jewellery box. So I'm just tucking the tabs in. Again, I'm not gluing them. They're just being tucked in. I'm going to take my box now, which hopefully should be dry. It is. And then we're just going to ease this in. And it should be quite a flush, tight fit. You know, it's not meant to slop in and out. So you will have to ease it a little bit just to get it in. But once you've got it in the right position, it should just pop in and look flush. And here we go, last little corner is always one that's tricky. There we go, that's our finished box. Now what I'm going to put in this box is one of these love hearts that I've got. They're stone love hearts that I bought from the range, and I've stamped them with white stays on. They say love ya. So I used our Stampin' Up white stays on ink. I don't know if you've ever used this before. It's really good. It's like normal stays on, except it's white. So it stamps beautifully on things like stones like this. It's perfect for the job it was intended. So let's just pop those ones to one side and get a glue dot. I'm just popping these down with a glue dot just so they don't run around inside the box. But these are removable glue dots, so they're, you know, semi-positionable. They'll come off. So that just slots in there. We now pop our matchbox in the middle section here, and this bit comes over. Hang on, let's just get it lined up. Comes over and tucks down, and just make sure it's flush and you're happy with it. And now you can peel off your sticky strip, hopefully, yep, in one. Whoa-hey. And then the other piece peels off here, and then smooth that over to finish off your matchbox piece, and then that'll come over and smooth over as the lid. So now we just need to take the piece that we stamped earlier and put a little bit of glue on it just to stick it down inside the box. This is the card bit of the box. This goes in here. Hopefully that sticks. Now you can use to seal these either magnets, or I'm using Velcro dots today. These are really tiny little see-through Velcro-y dot things. They're quite cute. So you stick the loopy side on this side here, and then get the other side that matches it and stick it on the right way so it's now sticky, and then push it down like that and it will stick to the box, and then will open and close hopefully. There you go. That's my box. Now we have to decorate the top of the box, and we're going to use another one of the white panels just to stick it down as decoration with a little bit of glue. And again, I've rounded the corners on this one. And to decorate today, I've used some flowers from the Botanical Builders stamp set. I'm just going to put 3 dimensionals down. These are to secure the leaves, but also the silvery string that I'm going to put on it. So just peel the backing off these, grab some of the leaves that you've cut out. You could have stamped these as well if you wanted to, because it has a matching stamp set, but I haven't. I've just curled them up a little bit. So the leaves are in Pear Pizzazz, just a couple there. And then here's some flowers I made earlier. They're just in the same matching. Before you put them on though, get your silver string. And the third little dimensional that's in the middle here that I've stuck my finger on, there you go. You're just going to wrap the twine round and make loops and secure it in the middle each time, sticking it on the dimensional. I find this easier than trying to make a loop of string and stick it down. I just sort of twist it round and twist it back on itself, and every couple of times that I go past I attach it to the dimensional in the middle. So this is just going round and round, and take a few more loops, a couple more loops. I'm just going to snip that off. There we go. I don't know if you can see that on the video, but it is very silvery and very stringy. And then some of the flowers, I've made these already. These are using the Botanical Builders framelits and matching cardstock, just a dimensional on the bottom. Stick those down, and there we have our finished box. Bit of yuck there. I tell you what, when you get a little bit of glue like that, stick a dimensional on top of it. No one will, diamante on top of it. No one will ever know. There you go. Stick a few diamantes down. There we go. Pretty finished. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to be making some more of these. These are from my teammates. I hope that they like them too. A cute little present and a card all in one. Thanks for watching.